Alright, so what's up guys? So we are out here on another run as we collect ourselves after a quite tyrannical downpour. Because just a couple minutes ago it was raining like crazy. And for us, we had to brace ourselves for it and pretty much go with the flow. And we're out here right now doing our run, training of course, and one thing comes into mind. That is today's video topic, and that is 4 things that I wish I knew before I started training. Right, these crucial aspects that had I started doing, I might have seen some extra progress. I had some further improvements along the way, or enhanced improvements per se, because after embarking on this journey, I for one have seen improvements, and hopefully you have, right, if you've started. And by applying these 4 things, you will be able to improve your fitness journey. So we're gonna give you 4 things I wish I knew before I started my personal fitness journey. And without further ado, we are gonna go into tip number 1, and that is, not everybody is right? Because you might hear one thing from one friend, hear another thing from another, and another thing from an influencer, another thing from a coach, so forth, right, about the same exercises, right? For example, squats, right? They might want to have you squat one way versus another way, and you might get confused, right? Because I did. And for you gotta understand that all these different ways might work for them, but they might not work for you in particular, because we are all built different, right? That's the glory of being human, right? We're not robots. We don't do the same things, all of us. And our bodies vary quite significantly from person to person. So based upon that aspect, you got to realize that you got to do your way for you, right? Because what someone is telling you may not necessarily be wrong per se, but may be wrong for you. And what you got to do inevitably is you can try out all the different ways and find the one that works the most for you. Because if you don't have that, you might fall into the trap of loving a particular way, right? Someone just told you to do it this way, that you were doing it wrong, and you start doing it, but it might be the wrong way, and someone comes around and tells you to do it this way, and you're doing it a whole different way. Find where it impacts you the most, right? Really close your eyes and think, right? Is this exercise really hitting these muscles? Do you feel them flex and contract, right? As opposed to following a specific set of movement, right? Blindly per se. Because the whole thing within working out is to work out your muscles and tire them. And if you're not doing that, you're not going to see any progress, regardless of what someone might consider to be the golden formula or right way to do things. So do that, right? Find the ways of doing exercise that suit you the best, and apply them. Be confident in them. Don't let someone shake you so easily, right? You can listen to them, take their advice, and make your own personal adjustments. Ultimately, the choice is up to you. It's yours, right? Because that even leads to point number 2 as far as things that I wish I knew before I started my fitness journey. And that is that you are responsible for yourself. Ain't no one else, right? It's not the gym's fault. It's not your coach's fault. It's not your boss's fault, right? Might think that he's giving you too much hours for work and you're tired and you don't want to go to the gym, right? Ultimately for you, it's your own personal responsibility, right? As far as how fit you get in the end, right? You might have all these wants and dreams and aspirations, right? You can envision yourself becoming this super big, huge, or, you know, you envision yourself without a big gut, right? You want to lose a lot of weight, good, but, you know, ultimately, it comes down to your personal decisions, right? Others may help you along the way, but the majority of the work, the bulk of it, is yours, right? Someone might make something feel easier, might make an exercise better for you, and, you know, in the end, you can do it if you want to. You can use their help, right? No one's stopping you, but, you know, they can't hold your hand the entire journey. It's up to you. So by having, you know, that independence per se, right, that, you know, driving force between you being happy, you know, doing things on your own in solitude, right? Because that's what's going to happen for most of your fitness journey, right? Your goals are going to be for you, right, and your achievement. So, you know, you got to be able to master being alone in the gym, right, and working on yourself. And that is point number 3, right, is to, you know, tune out the outside distractions of the gym, right? So many people might be telling you so many different things in the gym, right? You might have all your friends, right, that you kick it with over there, right? They might want to come up to you and talk to you about different things while you're there. Oh, well, that's fine, that's good, right, for a couple of minutes in, I say, moderation. But, you know, if you spend the whole entire time there conversing and chatting with them, your workout isn't going to be as good as it's supposed to be, right? Had you simply just gone there alone and, you know, would have been able to focus on the exercises, right, for you, right, being clear of those distractions, right? It takes a certain amount of skill to tune them out, right? For one, a lot of dudes struggle, you know, when they're in a gym with a lot of pretty girls, right? Or a pretty girl just walks into the entrance and before they know it, their head is turning to the side, right? Turning around, looking at her. And instead of focusing on their workout, they're checking her out, right? Envisioning, you know, being with her and, you know, ultimately trying or hoping for a chance to talk to her, which is fine, right? If you want to network, you want to meet new people, but realize that gym comes first, right? Save that stuff for the bar and the club later, right? You have plenty of time, you know, within your day to do that, right? The rest of your day, right? You're in the gym to do your work. That's it. Just like you being in the library, right? If you're in the library, you got to study. If you're in class, you got to focus on the teacher, right? Simple stuff. If you're at work, work. And so many people forget this in the gym, right? You might see them sitting over a bench press, looking at their phone. And when you take a peek, it's Netflix. They're watching a movie. They're watching cartoons. And you might think that's outrageous, but a person is simply distracted, right? Their mind is somewhere else. And ultimately, right, their focus has been pulled away from what they're doing. And, you know, for you, you can't really let yourself fall into that trap, right? You gotta stay on your grind, on your focus, and do your workout. And tip number 4, as far as things I wish I knew why I started the gym, was that the weight doesn't really matter, right? You don't have to load a bunch of heavy weights right on to the bar, right, and really try to push as much weight as possible. That's not what the gym is all about, right? True strength is being able to stabilize that weight and hold it up, not necessarily to push as much weight as possible. And while that's good, it may impress your friends, but, you know, what will lead to stronger muscles, right, and possibly better aesthetics is by being able to maintain and mobilize that weight to support, you know, that bar above you when you're doing bench press, right, and really stabilize it, not just go through a quick, push just to get a bunch of weight over your head. So from that, those are the 4 things that I wish I knew before I started the gym. As always, we say thank you very much for watching this video, and as always, we say goodbye.